beautiful, but we do tend to feel like we've been forgotten about out here. We have sort of, you exist as a picture postcard and nothing else.
Yeah, it's a lot more expensive to live out here, I reckon, than the city.
People get drunk most weekends because there's nothing else to do.
I can't see a way in which my children would be able to afford to stay here.
And the red brick cottage where I was born is the empty shell of a holiday home. Most of the year there's no one there. The village is dead and they don't care. Now we live on the edge of town. Haven't been back since the pub closed down. One man's family pays the price for another man's vision of country life.
There's nothing, just the pub. And that's all that's left in the village of any type of business at all.
A lot more farmers are getting lonelier. There are fewer farmers about. Not so many people calling on the farms, the farmer to talk to.
Бывает по-разному, в зависимости от дня и количества клубники на поле.
Okay. Some days it's manager pay £3 because not so much picking and the fruits. It's impossible.
If you look around you now, really all you've got is holiday homes. And the people that come for these holiday homes have just pushed the prices so high that the locals don't stand a snowball's chance.
You can't pay bills when you live at rural, can you? When you can pay a limited amount at this post office, rest of banks.
I mean, to me it's wrong. I mean, a whole bit of the open countryside can be hacked away. You've got doors are, us, floors to go, teaspoon world and pillars to die for.
It costs a ridiculous amount of money to come to work every day.
The bottom line is, in places like this, there's no work. Or what work there is, you aren't sufficient to do any good with.
Why should people get infused about going to work in a shop if that's not what they want to do and that's all that's available to them?
You can't really get to a decent job unless there's one in the town to get the money for the car, because you're paying it all on bus fares to Lowestoft to get a job. And this all takes up a lot of your time and money, really, because you could be working for those extra 2-3 hours you're travelling and earning money rather than spending it on the buses.
And we run computer courses for members of the community in the surrounding area. We've brought the training to the community.
Now I've learned how to do all the accounts, and we now employ 10 people in our company, which we couldn't do before.
No one marched or subsidised to save a country way of life.
Living in a small place like this can be kind of difficult sometimes if you want advice from a doctor or anything like that, especially concerning sex and other things, because everyone seems to know your business, and if you want to be anonymous or anything like that, you need to get into the city.
The sexual information we get at SIDS is good, and it's feel a lot more confident here than going to the doctors.
Because you don't bother the doctor to come out, do you?
No, the doctors don't.
If not, you've got to wait a long while for them.
What do you say to those people who say there isn't a problem?
Those people, probably the ones with cars and probably a nice big back garden for their children and that, and if they think there's no disadvantages, then they've obviously got a different way of life, because youngsters, they think it's sad living around it.
It's boring. I don't like it anymore. I'm used to it, so I just want to live in the city, really.
So I've got 2 little brothers, one 9 and one 12. My mum don't like them going out after school because it's pitch black. They've got nowhere to go, like youth centre or anything like that, so my mum won't let them go out of the house.
Well, I went outside and talked to the young people who were lurking in the bus stop and asked them what they would like to have happening. And they told me they'd like to do hip-hop dancing, so that's what they had.
It's having a great impact on the Gypsy and Traveller children. None of them have are leaving school with qualifications, so actually finding a good job, well-paid job, is very, very difficult for them. And many Gypsies and Travellers my age today still can't read and write.
She's targeted because she's the only Chinese takeaways in this area. I spoke to the headmistress at the school and I said, look, I have a problem. I've just moved in the last 6 weeks. And, the children have been quite awkward towards my son, because the first day we moved there, they were touching his hair and prodding and poking him as if he'd come from outer space. And I said, well, what can we do to help?
what remains they build upon. No trains, no shops, no jobs, no pubs.
Oh, there is real disadvantage.
No minister knows what it's like, or very few do, to live in a council house with 2 children, no transport, no healthcare. Yet they can write laws, and they run the country, and it's really maddening. It's infuriating. They're so detached from real life.
The country areas are pretty. If you're relatively affluent, if you've got access to transport and all those sorts of things, if you've got your circles and networks of support and friendship, you can live a wonderful life in the countryside. But actually, if you don't have that, then life can be pretty tough and quite isolated.